What's good? It's the man's Mr. I does it all. I'm back. Now it's like beating a dead horse, but sometimes you got to beat a dead horse. This is about mainly about women and their kids. Okay. You got to stay on, right? That's how I want to start off. You got to stay on your children. The buck must stop with you. I've already said several times. First off, you got to vet the person that you're laying down with. This goes with men as well. Cause shit, no man have to struggle to see his child because the mother is bitter for whatever reason. Maybe he moved on, maybe he got another woman. He saw how crazy he eventually was, but he still wanted to be in his child's life. You angry about it, you don't want him to see him. All these different things needs to stop. These children need to be with their fathers because it takes two individuals. It really takes two well-rounded individuals. But if you can at least get your mother and father's perspective in your life, maybe that'll help you out a little bit. Unless you just got two crazy parents, okay? But hear me out. When the man goes and he's not in the family number, one thing I hate is when certain women be like, oh, well, the child is where the child is because the man isn't helping me. Or one of the main things that really kind of, irk me is the financial aspect of it, especially when kids are young, okay? Now, my thing is, you're going to have bills regardless, right? If you didn't have any children, you're going to have rent, you're going to have electricity, you're going to have water, maybe gas, and yeah, 9 times out of 10 you're going to have internet as well. Um, Lights, water, rent, probably internet. So you're probably going to have those four bills. I feel like I'm skipping one, but anyway, you're going to have those bills, right? Those bills aren't going to go up significantly just because you have kids, especially not even for the first few years because they're not doing too much. Now, yeah, it gets to the point, especially in nowadays where they play the game a little bit more and the TV's ran a little bit more, but even then, it's not going to go up a astounding amount. It'll go up a little bit. Now, I can honestly say this because I went from just being me here by myself to having 3 children and 2 adults staying with me. My electric bill went up. Water bill, not so much. Now, when it came to heating, because I got heat, which is attached to my water bill, that made my water bill go up because when I leave the house and I'm here by myself, I cut the heat off in the wintertime. But if I got people here, then I'll let it run. And then we had this cold front that come through, a few months back, and that really ran it up. But without the cold front, my water bill went up, just a little bit, and my light bill also. So they went up enough, but I'm saying like it wasn't like they went up no $300-400 a piece. Is what I'm saying. Um, Collectively, let's see. I don't know. Collectively, it might have went up maybe 100 and 150 together. That's lights and water. Okay. Um, but then yeah, I know toiletries. That's gonna be a big one because I ran through toiletries like nobody business. You know what I mean? Toilet, but I get toilet paper, paper towel, napkins, body soap, hand soap, dish detergent, the spray ball of dish detergent, bleach, so on and so forth. Household products. All right, so but what I'm saying is your bills are not gonna go up to the amount where these women be like, oh my gosh, I can't make it with these kids. It's like even when I was going through that, and at some points where I didn't have help financially going through that situation, my bills still got paid. You see what I'm saying? I still was able to take care of them. And I ain't making no significant amount of money. I'm on disability. Bad kidneys. See what I'm saying? So, and I did DoorDash a little bit, but hell, I could go out and DoorDash and make $180, and by the time I put 40, 50, $60 in the tank, maybe eat $30, $40 worth of food, because I was dashing out of town, an hour away from home. So by the time I spend $10 on break, and then I'm dashing 13, 14 hours a day, And by the time I spend $40 in gas, and then eat breakfast that costs around maybe $10, lunch maybe $10, and get a nice little dinner plate before I come home, maybe another 20. You know, that's 40 in there, 40 in there, and then I might still have to put another 40 in the tank by the time I get home. So most that DoorDash thing wasn't very lucrative for me at all. So I'm saying I was still able to make it. But you'll have these women sweeping down that, you know, it's hard. Well, yeah, 9 times out of 10, it might be a little bit hard, especially when it comes to the daycare situation and stuff like that. But if your kid's going to school, that's a nice time for you to go out and get you some work done. You know, get you a check. So that's one of my biggest gripes, you know, about the whole situation, because they'll make it seem like financially they just doing bad, and these kids cost so much money, and it's like, no, that's not the case. You know what I mean? I know kids can be expensive. Then another thing, a lot of these women, not all of them, but a lot of them get food stamps. Okay, they get them yamps, and even if they working, if they're a single mother, they go get them yamps. They gonna eat better today, tomorrow, Thursday, Tuesday. See what I'm saying? They gonna get that EBT. Most of them. The ones that don't, well, you know, I wish you could, but and I'm not saying this is not for everybody's situation. So only a hit dog is gonna holler. I'm gonna tell you that right now. This don't apply to you. Keep it pushing, baby. If you out here and you on your grind, you taking care of you and your kids, you ain't worried about your baby daddy or he paying his child support like he's supposed to, and everything is gravy, and even if you didn't, you was still good, and all that, you know, keep it pushing, baby. This ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? You can listen, pass the message on to a friend, something like that. But this is for the women that be out here fumbling and bumbling with the money. They get the little child support, then they screw it off, and then the father's looking bad because now the kid needs some shoes or something, and all this money that he's been giving his mama every month, she's been squandering it, talking about, oh, I get, man, look, okay, that's cool, but you ain't saving none of this for him or her. You ain't put none of that money away. You know what I'm saying? And now he looking like the bad guy because he was like, well, look, I got a household of my own to pay for. I got life insurance, regular insurance, or maybe it comes from your job. You got life insurance. Maybe you got to help with the kids' medical bills. You got rent. You got electricity. You got water. You got maybe a car note, maybe car insurance, and maybe a loan that you done took out of something. You got your own bills that you need to take care of. On top of that, you got to pay rent. And if you're able to afford all of that, you see what I'm saying, and maintain it, 9 times out of 10, you probably got a decent job and making pretty decent money, which means that the court system is going to see that as well, and they're going to say, you're doing all right for yourself. Let us help you out with that. We're going to give X amount of dollars to her. So now, this little cushion that you done built for yourself off of your hard work, because you was willing to take care of your child, help out and all this. But the mom was like, yeah, you would even say, well, let him or her, the child, come stay with me. If it's so much of a burden, let the child come stay with me. We'll take care of her. And the mom can pay a little child support, whatever she can. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna be all right. In a lot of situations, that's the case. That could be the case. But no, the court's like, nah, big dog. We want black men to suffer as much as possible. Give that black queen X amount of dollars. And she's sitting over there just smiling. So now she getting food stamps. She getting child support. Don't let her be divorced. She might be even getting a little alimony. See what I'm saying? All these different ways set up for a woman to win. When there are none set up for a man to win, a man, I don't think a man can get on Section 8. He can barely get food stamps. You know what I'm saying? He got to be disabled, sick, or I guess, have the children. But like I said, 9 times out of 10, children going with mama. She got 4 or 5 kids making $1,000 in what is it? Food stamps a month. So she's selling them on top of, keeping the house stocked with junk making the kids sick and fat and slow and mentally ill. If you paid attention to what's in some of that food that those apple sauces and the Capri Sun, even the stuff that you think is good, I know it's just a bad situation because it's like, well, if all this stuff is jacked up, what can I get? I don't know. I mean, you got to go all the way organic, and even then you got to be careful with what you get. But I'm telling you right now, all of Oreos and Lunchables and Capri Suns and processed meat, sandwich meat, hot dogs and sausages in a pack and all of this different stuff is terrible for you. The meats, the vegetables, all of this is garbage. See what I'm saying? So now your kids sitting here sucking down that Tapico. You get what you pay for. You out here sucking down Tapico. You got this 200-gallon jug of juice for $1.21, and you know what I'm saying? People don't even think about it. They just, I love that Tampico, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm talking about? It's like an off-brand Sunny D, in that big, it's big orange, and I think they even got a like a reddish one too. But you get what you pay for. So I'm saying all that to say, just stand on your 10, man. Do your big one, and by that I mean, get yourself together before you be out there having children, especially in the projects, in the hood. Man, come on, little baby. Come on, little baby. Them kids is out there dying. You know what I'm saying? Fifth Ward, the Third Ward, Chicago, and Montgomery, and all these jacked up areas. If you living in an area like that, don't be out here making no babies. If you do, try to make it to the point where you can get out of this situation. Move. Quit hanging around them knuckleheads and thugs because you think they cool, even when you young. Each one teach one. The older women need to talk to some of these younger women, and I know how they can be, but y'all are the ones that's screwing up the world. These mothers, y'all are the ones screwing up the world. You can't blame the absence of the father on the terrible upbringing of your child. Because it's on you, the ball is on your court. If the man left, he gone. So now you gotta adapt. You gotta adjust. You gotta accommodate for you gotta acclimate. You gotta whatever for this father being not in the life. You gotta be Big Daddy now, or you gotta get somebody who is Big Daddy. Go find you a simp or somebody like that who want to get with you. Because like I said, 9 times out of 10, the man who wanted to be with you, who would have stayed with you, who would have loved you, would have took care of you, would have been by your side through thick and thin, who would have been your ride or die, who would have been your helpmate, your child's father, your companion, your lover, your best friend, your shoulder to cry on, your rock, your mechanic, your plumber, and all these different things. That man is the man that you overlooked. That is the man that you put in the friend zone. And he said, you know what? I'm out. I'm a head on out. I don't want to be your friend. That's what most of these females realize, but try to pretend like they don't realize, because they definitely realize it. Men don't want to be your friend. 9 times out of 10, you don't have any women friends. If somebody who don't want to sleep with you want to be your friend, what you think that somebody who do want to sleep with you, how do you think you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So it's like you got somebody around you, they just your friend because they want to be your friend. They're not trying to sleep with you, right? They don't want nothing from you but friendship. You know what I'm saying? You look out for me, I look out for you. That's it. If you don't have nobody like that in your life, what makes you think somebody who has the ability to have sex with you and want to have sex with you, what makes you think that they want to be your friend? No, they have ulterior motives. They want to be with you intimately. Or in a relationship. Maybe it's not always about having sex. It's some women that I, have encountered that, yeah, of course I wanted to knock boots, but it was more than that. I wanted companionship, relationship. Let's have a conversation. Let's lay in the bed and talk. Yeah, we can cuddle, we can spoon, we can do all that stuff. I want to do that stuff as well. But what I'm not going to do is just sit here and be your best friend, and you ain't trying to come up off them cheeks. I'm not going to do it. And then I'm sitting here listening to everything you saying, being your friend and all this stuff, and then you going out, being the one that's taking you to all these different places because you ain't got no car, help you out with your children and everything like that, and simping, and then you going and sleeping with this other guy. Not me, baby. And so I'm saying all that to say this, man. Stand on your 10, do your big one. Be a grown up. So women, if you in those projects, living in those bad areas, stop letting them little knuckleheads bust off up in you. Make them strap up or don't have sex with them at all. Because at the end of the day, you're the one who be stuck with that baby. And at the end of the day, your child is the one who's going to suffer. And at the end of the day, your child is the one who's going to resent you. They're going to resent you. I'm telling you. They're going to resent you. They might not show it. They might not tell you. But deep down in their heart, they're going to resent you, boy. Why? Because they know you could have done better. You could have made better life choices because they didn't ask to be here. Just like you didn't ask to be here. The buck has to stop somewhere. Maybe it needs to stop with you. And then once you develop in your mind a little bit better, you can teach someone else instead of teaching them ratchet like you got all these fools out here, these stupid ass women. Part of my French, but that's how I feel. These stupid ass women out here doing twerk videos with their children. It used to be back in the day where if a sex scene, a kissing scene, or something like that came on, your mama would be like, cover your eyes, or she'll cover them for you. You trying to sneak you a little peek. I see you, cover your eyes. Nowadays, so back then, your mama would keep you from seeing the booty videos. Nowadays, these mothers are making booty videos with their children. Look at the less hilarious chick with the little bust down picture of her and her child. And then you got other women, following suit. So, you know what I mean? They are the reason that the world is the way it is. It's the mothers. Can't blame the fathers. It's the mothers. It's the resentment of, and then you have children who grow up to resent their mothers, and that can take a toll on a person because it's hard for you to feel for a stranger. Remember, so if your daddy was a stranger, how can you feel for him either way? You can't hate him. You don't know him. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't got no feelings towards him. I could care less what happens to that guy. I don't love him. I don't hate him. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But then some people, even after years, they still want to make that connection with their father, which that's cool as well. Some people do love, they still love their absent father. Some people still hate their absent father. But for the most part, that resentment going to come towards the mother because, like, you could have done better. You the one who chose that bum to lay down with to have a child. Or you the one who pushed that man away and now you struggling. Everybody, I can't be one of the kids at school that pull up in a new whip when I turn 16 years old. I ain't rocking the new shoes and new clothes unless I done had to go out here robbing, stealing, killing, willing, and dealing to get these the outfit that I got on, the clothes that I got on, the shoes that I got on, the hat that I got on, the jewelry that I got on, the teeth that I got in my mouth, all of this. Because you failed to be a good mother, and now you out here struggling, broken, poor. Then you got a lot of mothers out here trying to preach goodness of God and all of this, but it's like, obviously, you was doing something wrong. Now, I do understand that we live in the age of information, so there's a lot more information out here that'll help a person acclimate better to spirituality and religion. Because back then, it was a lot of you do this or you going to hell. Either you a Christian or either you love. I was gonna say name the other denominations: holiness. Christian, atheist, whatever, Muslim, so on and so forth, Buddhist. But either you believe in God or you going to hell. That's basically what it was. It was that cutthroat, that black and white. Either you believe in God through some denomination, or you don't, and you going to hell, or you don't believe in God or the devil, and you feel like you ain't. You know what I'm saying? You had those people back then as well. The some of them may have been on a higher wavelength, and then some of them may have just felt that way because that's how they felt. Me now, I feel like we just energy. I feel like they said, we trapped here, and your soul gonna keep on recycling until maybe one day another race or whatever, a higher being or whatever, cracks that firmament and come down and whoop. But besides all that, like I said, you got mothers teaching who was teaching that, and but it's like you sit here struggling, you broke, you riding in this busted vehicle, or you ain't got no vehicle, we living in this raggedy ass house, or XYZ. You know what I'm saying? We not eating good every night. You know, some nights we have to go without eating. There's been a few times where the lights been cut off, the water done been cut off a few times. You out here trying to teach me how to be good and whoop de whoop. But all this could have been different if you would have kept that man in your life, or if you would have chose the right man. So this is the reason why some of these kids, especially young men, and maybe young women too. I can't speak for them because I don't, but I'm guessing that it could be somewhat similar. This is why they choose to resent their parents or their mother, because they love her, of course. Oh yeah, I love you. I love you to life, mama. You my everything. You what I got. You see what I'm saying? But there's gonna be some slight resentment in the back of their mind. Like sometimes they're like, man, damn, what broke ass get on my nerve. You know what I'm saying? So my mom wants such and such. I need such and such. I want that new Xbox. Baby, we can't. Man, go on. You should have stayed with daddy. So, like I said, you hit 15, 16 years. You hit the adulthood. I feel like your parents should send you off with a decent vehicle to ride around in. It ain't breaking down on you and all that. You got Bay Pop tires on your car, and the engine ain't worth a damn. And I think they should send you off with a decent car. They should have enough money to get you a starter home, a starter trailer, a starter apartment, or something. Help you get some furniture, maybe some food up in that piece, and still have a little money left over in the bank account. This is what good parenting is about. And then on top of that, they stayed on top of your neck when you was growing up, so they could give you a fair shot at the world. So they might have said, okay, well, at a decent age, what do you want to be when you grow up? Time's winding down. You in ninth grade, baby. Look, you only got 4 more years. Those 4 more years are going to be over before you know it. So we need to figure out what you want to do now. That way we can start looking into it now. See if we can find some programs that'll help you, some internships, some places that might help send you off to college. You know what I mean? We need to find some of these things that you do some soul searching and go speak to some of the people who do these jobs. Do some YouTubing. Do whatever you need to do to find out, is this going to be worth it? This field that you want to go in, is it going to be worth it? Is it going to be lucrative? And is it going to be something that you are willing to do for the rest of your life until you retire? Because you don't want to keep bouncing around, switching jobs. And you definitely don't want to. I had some pork rinds earlier, and it just seems like the little crumbs don't want to stay in my mouth, so I apologize for that. But anyway, this is a well-rounded parent. This is the parent that's down on your neck. They in your life. You see what I'm saying? They're there. What's up with your schoolwork? What you got today? Let me take a look at it. You see what I'm saying? Do you need a tutor? All right, you got a football game. We'll be going. When is practice? I'm going to be there. See what I'm saying? So you got gymnastics this week. Let's go. See what I'm saying? That parent is on your neck. They by your side. That is good parenting. They're in your life. They're guiding you. You know what I'm saying? They might see you veer off over here and they, hey, get back over there, boy. Hey, young lady. Hey, no ma'am. Come on. You can't go out there and hang with them hoes. They need to take just like that. You can't go out there and hang with them hoes. Look at what she got on. I can almost see what that girl thinking. Through her behind. Look at her. Okay, look at this one over here. You can about see her ovaries. You know what I'm saying? And they look like they nice and fertile. Somebody sneeze on her, they gonna get her pregnant. This is what your parent need to be telling you. Nah, player, come here. Hey, playboy, nah, you can't hang out with them guys. Look at them. This guy got his pants. I can see his behind. I thought he was a woman for a moment when I first saw him. Look, this is what the parents need to do. This is how you stick it in your life. You're on your children's neck. And the way you do it is you got to have 2 parents. That way you're not pulling the whole load. This is how you do it. And let me tell you something else. Well, I got you here if you don't mind. Stop arguing with your significant other. If you arguing with them, it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. Eventually, all that arguing is going to come to a head like a blackhead or a pimple, and it's just going, you ain't going to have to force it. It's just going, it's just going to pop, and it's going to be over with. There's gonna be blood and pus and everything else in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Stop doing that, especially around other people, especially around your kids. If you're doing all of that, it's not gonna work out. Especially if you're doing all of that before y'all even get married or before y'all have children. Leave. Get out of that situation. I'm telling you. I know it's gonna be hard. I know you love them, but if y'all can't, grow up and see eye to eye, then you're just not compatible. It's like trying to stick a circle inside of a square hole. It's not designed for that. It may work. You might even get a little bit in there. You might even get the whole thing in there. But it wasn't. You might have damaged something getting in there, making it fit. You know what I'm saying? So same thing in relationship. If that don't work, it don't work. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. You know how I know this? Because think about how well so many other things go when there's no argument. When you at work, you don't argue with your boss. Your boss does his job or her job. You do your job. The business runs smoothly for years. Same thing with your fellow employees. You're not arguing back and forth with them, and the job is running smoothly. But when you do get to arguing with them, that's when stuff go left, and you argue with your boss. Somebody gonna get fired. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, in a regular world, in a regular scenario, in a regular situation, people ain't arguing with their boss. They ain't arguing with their fellow employees. Things are going smooth. See what I'm saying? You go do a transaction with somebody. You go to the post office. You say, "Hi, how are you? I want to deliver this package." They say, "Okay, cool." You know what I'm saying? Where are you sending it? Oh, XYZ. Okay, is that gonna be express mail or regular mail? Blah blah blah. You say, "Woo woo woo." They say, "Okay, cool. That's gonna be such and such and such." Are you paying cash card today? They say, "I'm gonna get card today." I say, "Okay, well you can tap whenever you're ready." You say, "Okay, fine. Thanks." Boop, doop, 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 doop. They say, "All right." Boop, print you out a receipt. Here's your tracking number. It should be here by this time. Blah blah blah. They hand you a receipt. You go on about you. Have a nice day. Thanks for your help. You go on about your business. Transaction over. Everything went smoothly. That's how your relationship should be. Dad should be, or mom, or baby, or women. Man, they should do they. If you both pulling your weight, doing your part, there shouldn't be no argument. Yeah, there may be a discussion, maybe even a disagreement. Hey, excuse me, sir. I got this off this shelf, and it said that it was $1.99, but it's ringing up for $3.99. Oh, I'm sorry, it might have been in the wrong place. Here, let me get my manager over here to take a look at this. Okay, no problem. Manager comes over. He said, "Okay, could you show me where you got it from?" They walk him over there. It was like, oh man, somebody must have put it in the wrong spot because these aren't supposed to be here. But we'll honor it and we'll get it to you for $1.99. Okay, that's fine. That's cool, man. Or they'll say, "Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. This wasn't supposed to be like this. Somebody must have just sat it here, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, it's definitely $3.99." And you say, "Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case, I don't want it. I'm not going to get it. Thought it was $1.99." You had a disagreement, but you came to an understanding. Instead of, "No, man, you said you don't want it. I got this off the shelf and it was." Sir, please, you don't have to do all of that. Ma'am. Look, man, nobody want to hear. Who wants to deal with that? When it comes down to relationship, if you're in a relationship, you're in a cheating relationship, women, I can tell you this. I get men too, but mainly women, men and women. I give you two options. Either shut up or leave. It's just that simple. Shut up or leave. You know your man or your woman is cheating on you. Shut up or leave. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Even if you leave the relationship, but you still got to stay in the house with this person because y'all both financially struggling, or y'all was making it together on your own, but you got to come up with something where both of y'all can get out of this lease or whatever the case may be. You got to come to a compromise or work. And if they just so choose to leave, you got to do what you got to do to keep it pushing for you. But if somebody cheating on you, if somebody doing anything in the relationship that you don't like, either shut up or leave. all that arguing for back and forth for what? What you tiring yourself out for? Now you can have a conversation about it. You can have a, you know what I'm saying? Look, I don't appreciate the way you did such and such and such. You leave the toothpaste cap off all the time, and I don't, you know what I'm saying? You can get germs in there and anything like this, and they say, oh, okay, maybe I'm sorry. It'll never happen again. I'll make sure I'll, you know what I'm saying? I really do it. And if I don't, just remind me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just so used to doing it that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to do my absolute best to do it. And, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get through this thing together. Okay, cool. We had an argument about it. You always nagging. You always nagging about something. That's about the toothpaste cap, man. You always, dog, man. See that? That's a childish reaction. So shut up or leave or have a discussion about it. So, like I said, this was all about the kids because, you know, it starts and stops with us. It's the parents' fault. The buck has to stop somewhere. And one of my main things is definitely those kids growing up in those trenches. They don't have to do that. Just close your legs. Close your legs. It's just that simple, man. I be seeing all these little videos on worst city in LA, worst city in Memphis, worst city in Chicago, worst street on this. And it's like all you see is these YNs and a whole bunch of ONs, not OGs, but ONs, because they ain't hit OG status yet. They about my age, 35, 40. I guess I say like 30 and up. Maybe even 29 and up. 28 and down. Well, no, I say, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, though. It's some guys out there who shouldn't be out there doing what they doing, and they doing it anyway. And then the YNs is following suit, and then it's just going. It's the generational curse is continuing on because they see these grown behind men out here probably don't even know that this man is your daddy type stuff, and it's because you got these young women out here busting it open for anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, close your legs, man. Don't have no baby in those situations. Don't even do it. Don't bring no. Get yourself together. Move to a better apartment complex. Move into a trailer. Move to another city, another town. Get you a fresh start. You know what I'm saying? Find you a nice young man who work at a library. Go talk to somebody who work at a fast food joint. Ask him about himself. Say, hey man, what you got planned? What's your life goals? And he might tell you. Guess what? You and him together might be able to make it. Just because this man is working at a Cavender's, but just because he's working at this restaurant, and this man is on the block selling dope, and this man got a old 2012 Nissan, and this boy over here riding around in a 2022 Scat Pack or something. That don't mean nothing. This guy can have 48 hours to live, and then all that stuff that you see is gonna be gone. And now you done had a baby with him. You done got this place with him. You ain't got no job. You ain't got no source of income. And now he done died. His mom and them never liked you, so they made sure they took everything from you. And now you stuck with how you stuck, with what you stuck with. Meanwhile, buddy over here, who was working at that restaurant, he got him a little place. He get back and forth where he need to go. You see what I'm saying? He makes sure his house stay clean. Make sure he keep a little food in the refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? He's a loving, kind, caring guy. He ain't no pushover, but he ain't out here bullying nobody neither. He just mind his own business, trying to make it. And that's the guy that you'll overlook for Trayshawn in the Scat Pack with the tattoos on his neck and on his face, with the slugs all in his mouth, with the baby dreadlocks, with the fade, 6'2". You know what I'm saying? That's the guy you'll gold all around his neck or whatever. That's the guy you'll choose. And then he mess around and get shot somewhere and leave you with a baby, two of them, to take care of by yourself. So, not to say that Jamal over here working at the restaurant, not to say that he can't get shot, but the statistics, the chances, the percentage of Jamal getting shot going back and forth to work at this restaurant, TGIF or whatever it is, living in these apartments over here where it ain't no foolishness compared to the lifestyle of the these guys over here. Who you think will get shot first or something like that? So I'm just saying, make better decisions, man, because the kids are the future. They are our future. These are the ones who want to take care of you when you're sick, when you're old, and helping up people across the street. And it used to be a community. We don't have no community like that no more. You used to go outside and leave your door unlocked, especially here in the country. Go outside and leave your door unlocked, and your neighbor make sure watch your door or watch your car. Hey, get from over there. What you doing over? You ain't need no alarm system. You ain't need no security cameras, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? You could go to the neighbor and ask for a little sugar, a little something like that. Y'all was friends. Y'all was family. Y'all sat down and had a beer together, a conversation together. You know what I'm saying? You seen them and you hugged them, gave them a little jaw kiss or something like that. This is how the life used to be back in the day. Because you knew we was all we had. Nowadays, we're divided amongst other ethnic groups, other races, as well as ourselves. That they think we have haves and haves nots, which we do, but I'm talking about in the same community. You know what I mean? They think it's haves and haves not. Well, both of y'all sitting here living in this same jacked up, area. What you picking on this guy for? But them the folks that'll rob you. But these are the children that's growing up with. That's what I'm telling these mothers. Be tough on your children. Show them tough love. You got to be daddy. You got to be daddy, because you be nice to them and too sweet to them and all of that and let them get away with stuff. Well, what's going to happen is one or two things. A 2-year-old become a 4-year-old. A 4-year-old become a 6-year-old. A 6-year-old become a 10-year-old. A 10-year-old become a 15-year-old, and so on and so forth. Once these children get to a certain point in their life, they're going to already be set in their ways. They already going to have this little attitude, this little personality about themselves. And it don't take them long to get it. So you have to be careful what you allow them to say, do, what you allow them to see, you have to guide them. Like I said, keep them on the straight and narrow even at a young age. You're supposed to be teaching this child how to be an adult, a successful adult, as well as you making sure his finances, her finances is in order from the moment of conception. You already got them a bank account. You dropping bread off into that account, little bit by little bit, whatever you can. 20 here, 30 here, 40 here, 50 here, 60 here, 70 here. You know what I'm saying? You get income tax. You get a couple thousand back. Drop $500-$600 in that account. You know what I'm saying? This is how you build the wealth for this child. So you ain't struggling and stressed out because when they're 16, you ain't gonna have nothing much to give them. Why? Because you got this account over here. You can afford to give them this, but you've been giving this child ultimatums all his life. Look, clean your room, you get this. You can afford to have allowance instead of being one of them parents. I allow you to this, I allow you to that. No, teach your child the value of $1, value of hard work from a young age. Teach your child how to cook from a young age. Teach her how. I learned how to do all this stuff. Teach your child how to. All you got to do is teach them, show them. They'll learn. They might not be perfect, but people, they too young for that. No, they not. I saw a kid the other day catch a whole fish by himself. It looked like little man wasn't no more than 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years old. Probably he definitely wasn't 4. He had to be like maybe 2 to 4 years old. But he threw that rod in there. He caught the fish. His dad was giving him little commands, and he understood everything. So I don't even think the boy could talk, but he could understand. And he did everything by himself. He threw the rod in there. He pulled it out. Now, like I said, his dad was sitting there coaching him, but it wasn't like he was holding him and telling him what to do. He's like, all right, pull it on out of there. Pull it on, come on out, pull it on out of there. All right, put it over here. All right, bring it over here now. All right, now you got to get him off the hook. The little boy was doing everything, you know what I'm saying? So you're supposed to teach your children and guide them. So you giving them ultimatums from a young age. You keep your room clean. You get a little something. You be good. Screw all that Santa Claus and Easter Bunny and all that fake holiday stuff. Nah, look, son, you be good throughout the year. We'll get you this. You ain't got to wait to know December 25th. You see what I'm saying? Do short bursts of, I give you, You know what I'm saying? Oh, you want that new game system, right? Well, if your child is on the straight and narrow doing what they're supposed to do, then and you taking care of your business as you should, it should be no issue. Your child come to you and say, "Hey, Dad, you think I can get that new Xbox such and such? Like, how much is it? I think it's like $8.99. Okay, son. Well, let me see. Work some stuff around and see what would do. All right. Okay, Dad. Because your child, your son, your daughter, they understand the value of a dollar. They understand the value of hard work. You see what I'm saying? So they're not out here feeling like, and then you taking care of them. You making sure they get what they want. You done taught them how to be humble. Not in a way of that they're a pushover, but in a way that they can see the world for what it is. They understand what's going on. They're sitting back and they watching. They're like, okay, well, at the end of all of this, we just gonna die, and maybe even come back and have to do it all over again. So all this materialistic stuff is just that. This is just stuff to help us get through from the birth date to the death date. So I'm gonna enjoy it while I can, and if I do it right, I'll enjoy it even better. You see what I'm saying? So if you out here robbing and stealing and killing to get some shoes, you mess around and get shot yourself trying to steal some dope from somebody, or you know what I'm saying? All these different things that could possibly happen by you choosing the wrong path. These are the things that you need to teach your children. And like I said, it really starts with having a good way around it. Definitely mother and father. But if you got some good uncles and cousins and stuff like that around, keep your children away from them. You know what I'm saying? Those ones that can't get right. I'm not saying keep them away from them, because you can have some cousins that out here selling dope, but they'll be the ones who tell your child, look, stay away from this. Go to school, get your education, man. This ain't the life you want. It's not fun. You know what I'm saying? I just had a homeboy down the other day, you know what I'm saying? Not me, I'm saying this was the person. So even though that person selling dope, they selling your child hope. They telling them to go try a different path. Look, man, I don't want to see you out here. I promise you I don't. Things get ugly out here. But if you're already doing what you're supposed to be doing as a parent, you showing them the glamorous side of just being a hardworking everyday citizen. And then you can even also show them how to get money, get that money on for themselves, go into business, be an entrepreneur. Even if they selling flowers, people will buy anything. See what I'm saying? People will buy anything. So it's always a market for something out there. I promise you it is. There's people out there who probably definitely buy bottle caps. Bottle caps. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, man, this one has ran kind of long. About as long as my normal rants, but you know what I mean? I don't have no children. I done helped raise a couple, but just you don't have to have all. You don't have to be all this. You know, you don't have to touch the eye to know that it's hot if you're paying attention. Some people think you have to, but no. I can look at that eye and tell it's hot. I can see that the last fool that touched it burnt himself. I can see the marks on that fool hand for where he burnt himself. So that's the same thing in life. I've seen what this person looked like being in this position, going out there having children. Or maybe it'll be different for me. Yeah, okay. I'm quite sure if I go touch that same eye that fool just touched, I'm going to get the same results that fool got. Neosporin. Aloe vera. I'm going to get that. So, man, I hope y'all took something from this. I'm quite sure I left something out. I always do. But, you know, I got to get back to these dishes and cook me a nice little steak, potato, corn, and broccoli medley tonight. Oh, yeah, I can burn, too. You feel me? So, I'm out.